Okay. So, deal is, I show you the bodies, you tell me what the hell you're holding back.
Well, the information I'm going to tell you, it's for your ears only. And don't just... Last time I did something like this, it didn't end well.
Did something like what?
I don't know if you've read my file at all, but there is some things there that's hard to explain.
Yeah, I noticed that there were a few redacted bars here and there. You're Mortier, that's to be expected.
Yes. Well, I also know, unfortunately, things that good Emperor fearing citizens shouldn't. And this place has one of those.
I'm just going to roll her intelligence to see if she's understanding the hint you just dropped. She's giving you a perplexed look like, what the fuck are you talking about now, crazy man?
So she's giving the perplexed look?
Yes.
There are some things that the human mind is not made to understand. And one of them is the forbidden knowledges. Vern is just... His mouth wants to go further, but it can't.
You're speaking about information that has been declared grand heresy.
Yes. Vern's fist will clench.
So nothing so simple as sedation, treason, crimes against mankind. We're talking about crimes against all of humanity.
Yes.
Should I be calling the she kind of gives a kind of an eye hand gesture?
You mean Inquisition?
She feels very awkward when you actually say the word out loud, but she gives a nod.
Well, Jess is typing something. Well, taking their urgent matters, I don't think this place would be high on the priority list since it's been quiet so long. And just disconnected for some reason.
Probably rebooting again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Okay, her Pulsar's eyes just go completely wide and her pupils dilate, and she's like, "You're one of them. That's what all the fucking redaction is. Your Inquisition?"
Vern will look with basically a just look at her and say, Yeah.
She just kind of like gurgles slightly as she just swallows her own spit and just kind of stares off to the side. Like she's suddenly realizing that this is not just murder then. Fuck, what is this? Oh, fuck.
Well, now that that's out of the way, you probably understand why I'm interested of this. What's going on here right now?
She doesn't seem to be paying attention to you anymore.
Hey, snap out of it. Just... That's... This is so problematic.
Yeah, but if you're here and that you have Ordo backing, who here knows? Or
who was it? The
head of staff knows, doesn't he? Pontarius.
Pontarius knows for sure. Matthews, I do believe, knows, or if he doesn't know, he has a suspicion.
All right. Well, if Pontarius does know, and you're sure of that, right?
Am I sure?
In character, you're 99% sure. Sorry, 98%. Let's not invoke anyone here.
I'm most certain that Pontarius at least knows.
Okay, hold on just a minute. She's going to come around the desk, open the door, and say, "Hey, Matthews, go get Pontarius right now. Thank you." She'll close the door. Just leave Matthews to be like, "The fuck? What?" All right. So he's off looking for Pontarius, and you two have your conversation again. She'll just be like, all right. So I get it. There's stuff I'm not allowed to know because it goes way above my head. I got it. Specific
way beyond
number,
your head and possibly your mind. It's...
You're asking about a specific number of stabbings. We're talking about numerology here, then.
Yes.
Okay. That stuff's real, apparently. Like, or is it just because this guy's like crazy cultist? Please tell me he's just a crazy cultist.
Well, let's just hope that he is just that. But
hope.
What I've uncovered so far would be either a very, very bad. What would it be? The word I'm looking for? Happenstance. Not happenstance, but
I think unlucky happenstance could work.
Mm-hmm.
Misfortune.
Unlucky happenstance of different. What's the word I'm looking for here?
Random occurrences.
Random occurrences forming to a
pattern.
Forming to a cruel joke on my part, or there's something really going on that's that is worse.
I'm going to do a willpower roll for her. She's just kind of going to slump over in the desk at the moment and just... Vern, you can lead the conversation for now, but you're going to get the impression she's not listening so well at the moment. So what would you tell her while she seems to be out of it?
I would just, when I notice that she slumps down, I would say, try to snap her out of it. That we need her to be at her best at the moment, for now.
Okay, give me a command roll. I think that is just
No, that's probably not, because I'm not. I'm trained, but my fellowship is complete utter crap.
And even with your, I don't know if you have peer. Yeah, you don't have peer. You do have officer on deck, but she's not military.
Yep.
So, she's not fearless. So yeah, this is just kind of upsetting her at the moment. But she will be snapped out of it when Director Matthews opens the door and says, Lord Pontarius here. Can I come back into my office? And she'll be like, no, this is just for us three. Sorry, go away, Matthews. He's like, fuck's sakes. Pontarius comes in and he says, all right, well, I assume this is about Mr. Castus and his employment status. And Pulsar just looks at Pontarius like, Inquisition. You have a member of the Inquisition here getting healthy from stuff that I'm apparently not allowed to even know exists. Pontarius nods his head and says, I'm very, very sorry for this, Mr. Castus. I was given specific instructions to ensure that I kept this information under lock and key. I never expected things to go so utterly horrifically wrong during your stay here with us, but it is almost serendipitous that a member of your illustrious Ordo would be present to handle, well, this awfulness, if it's not going to be too much trouble for you, sir.
It's all right. I think how would he say that? These unfortunate happenings are I don't know how to say it, but basically everyone would say that it's okay. It has been done now. He knows, yes, it's time to him for do something about it.
Yes, well, what is it that you propose?
Well, it's been a while since I've been in contact with the Inquisition. We should get at least someone here to look at what I've found. There's something that I wouldn't want to show to, how would I say it, uninitiated eyes. There are some things that shouldn't be seen by just everyone.
Yes. But surely we can't wait for them to come to handle Wormwood.
No, but that's one thing we need to do. But
yes, Miss Pulsar, she'll look up to him to Pontarius, and Pontarius will follow up saying, "We finished reviewing the security footage of the picked recorders around the site, and we can most definitely say Mr. Wormwood did not leave last night. And just so you're aware of the geography of the area, basically you've got ocean to the west, ocean to the south, ocean to the east. You're on basically a little peninsula, kind of raindrop, teardrop kind of shape, with the only way to go being north if you want to remain on land."
Is there any footage of the attacks?
Well, yes and no. We have the killing of Marshall, the foreman Marshall, but it's very distant. It's hard to make out exactly what's happening. But well, the picked recorders definitely show Wormwood walking out to the site and walking back to the site, or back to the facility rather. The internal security cameras also show Mr. Wormwood heading to his daughter's office, though we can't seem to find the footage of Mr. Wormwood and Miss Hind. But well, we found Miss Hind in an area that isn't covered by security cameras anyway.
What about the cameras nearby?
What do you mean?
Well, even if there's not footage of what happened in the cameras, maybe there is something on the cameras that are leading to the place of where these murders happened.
Oh no, we know where the murders took place. We're
Yes.
just saying we don't have the footage of the murders themselves taking place.
Yes, but I'm
And we can
saying
confirm
here,
that Wormwood was definitely at the suspected times of the murders going out to the construction site and walking back, and going to his daughter's office and coming back with very red hands in the latter case.
Vern will tap his fingers on the table. Is it possible to see this footage?
Mr. Cassis, I do remind you that you're here to get well, to distance yourself from the pain and headaches that your line of work causes.
Yes, but taking the circumstances and, well, what I've understand from all the evaluationists, I'm getting better, and I do believe I'm well enough for this.
Mr. Castus, please, and Pulsar's going to slam her hand on the desk, draw her gun, point it at Pontarius, and say, show him or it's treason. And Pontarius is like, right, well, please follow me to the appropriate offices. Mr. Matthews, you may have your office back. Matthews is just going to be like, the fuck's going on?
Vern looks at Pulsar and says, as they're leaving, and says, slight overkill, but effective.
She can't actually articulate any words. She just literally says what I just said.
Okay.
In any event, off you go to the office, reviewing the video footage. It is pretty much exactly what Pontarius said.
Mm-hmm. But Vern would try to basically use the cameras, since what I understand there's several cameras, to see if they picked up where the Wormwood went after these murders, looking at the cameras nearby the areas where he was last seen, and tracing from there the next camera and such.
Yep. So they'd actually already done all that work, and they show you what they've revealed, and they lose sight of them inside the facility, towards the south end of this part of the building, the operations area, close to the extreme care ward area.
Do I remember anything from the book that would mention anything special there? Do I need to roll for that?
Yeah, give me an intelligence roll.
Okay, nothing.
Right. But, it was a book. It had pages. Oh, Jess is making jokes. Okay. And then Pulsar is going to say, all right, you also want to see the bodies, right? You were saying there was something to worry about there.
Yes. Also, I would like someone to go to my room and get me the book I have there. I would give the name of the book. At least I would think I would remember that much.
All right. Well, Pontarius will call for an orderly to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And in the meanwhile, as they're going to get that book, we go see the bodies.
Okay. Do you mind if Pontarius joins you, or are you going to ask him to sit out?
It's his own volition to either follow or not.
Okay. So, you're going to look at the bodies in order of their deaths or not?
Yes.
Okay. So, let me just make them all visible again.
Mm-hmm.
There you are. What are you examining on Foreman?
First, I will try to see if there's how many stabs there are. Individual stabs, not slap. Just.
Okay, give me a search roll.
Try to count the stab. Oh, fucking. It's too messy.
It's been a long time since you've examined a corpse.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you like as you're counting, Pulsar is going to be no. You counted that one already. No, you counted that one already too, Mr. Castus. You're counting here. Let me count, and she'll do the counting for you, and she'll say it's hard to say exactly, but it looks like there's 30 to 35 stabs, individual stabbing marks. Like it's more than enough to just overkill.
Next,
mainly around the torso, neck, couple in the face, arms, probably defensive wounds.
I would look at the chest and see if there's any sort of rhyme or reason to these stabs, or are they just in close grouping of each other, or are they, in different places?
It looks like you're not an expert. You're not a Verispex agent.
No,
and you rolled really shitty. So as far as you can tell, it was just a savage stabbing.
Yeah, but at least I can probably tell if most of their stabs are in one group, or are they just spread around the body?
It's spread around the torso, arms, face, and neck.
Okay.
They didn't stab the legs or thighs. You can say that much.
Okay. Fair enough. I will check the next body.
Okay. That's well. They're not 100% sure, but they believe Miss Hind died before Miss Wormwood. They based on security footage.
Same search.
Okay.
Slightly better.
Okay. So, with Miss Hind, it's pretty much entirely in the torso. No face wounds. No defensive wounds. So it looks like maybe managed to ambush her. Yeah. And different type of blade maybe, but then that's either weapon of opportunity or just different nature. Like it's hard to tell for sure. You don't have a weapon to compare the wounds to.
Vern will turn to Pulsar and ask, was there weapon found on the scene?
None yet. We're having orderlies canvass the entire building, and I've already put a call in to get more Arbites to this site, although I've been getting red tape preventing me from getting as many as I want. She'll stare at Pontarius. He says, we have patience to consider. We can't have a circus going on here. And she says, there's been 3 murders. The Inquisition is involved. I'm pretty sure I can bring in some more cops.
Just calm down. We bring more cops, but it needs to be done. How would I say?
Discreetly?
Discreetly, not make it into a circus, like Ponterius said.
Thank you, Mr. Cassis, Ponterius will say. And Pulsar was like, fine, I'll make it nice and shiny and neat, but I need more people here to help with this.
Of course, I understand. This is a large place to canvas by yourself.
Especially since this Wormwood was apparently seen speaking with orderlies. We don't know how many other people he's infected with his bloodlust. Okay, and the last body. Marion, this one was personal. There is slashing on her face. This is like mutilation levels. Like, he did not want to see her face again, kind of thing. Same kind of level of stab wounds as Foreman Marshall in the torso. And this body, these wounds, they were put with a lot more force. Like, you push on the body, you feel broken ribs from like the impact of this blade.
So much more rage.
Lots more rage, lots more hate, and her face is all slashed up.
Huh. This is interesting. Just to question, could I distinguish if between each murder there has been increase on violence, or just these 2 last ones?
From what you can see, on a scale of 1 to 10, Foreman 7 or 8, Hind 3 to 5, Marion 11, 12 even, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh. This was personal. This kind of mutilation is... I've seen a lot, but this is quite high on the list of disturbing things I've seen.
Ponterius will say, perhaps, well, what should we do next?
Can you tell me again where they were found? Miss Hine was in her office, and so was Miss Wormwood? Or?
No. Miss Wormwood was found in her office. The foreman was found in the construction site, whereas Miss Hind was actually found in a closet space that we don't have any security cameras watching, a supply and cleaning supply closet.
Is this?
Pulsar will say all bodies were found exactly in their murder place. The blood splatter is... it seems that Miss Hind was probably led to the closet under some sort of false pretense where the murder took place in concealed privacy. Foreman, he was either led to the construction site or he was spending time in the construction site off hours. And then, of course, Miss Wormwood in her office, there's, well, nothing suspicious about that or questionable about that in the first place.
Well, I don't see anything else we can get from these corpses, bodies. I could have a gun. Where is that book?
Well, on cue, the orderly will basically knock upon the door, asking to deliver an item to Pontarius. Pontarius will, without opening the door wide enough for the person to see inside the room, take the book and say, "Thank you very much, be about your business," and hand the book to Castus. And ask, "What is this exactly?"
This book is a sort of a journal of building this place. Mikhail found it. Well, Mikhail found it that it was about this place more, but it's beside the point. I'm trying to see here if there's any mention of the area of the south of this wing.
Sorry, I'm not understanding what you mean, Mr. Castus.
You said that last time Mr. Wormwood was seen in the south area of the eastern wing. Am I correct?
Oh, of this area. Yes, actually, if you want to see a more current version of the blueprints, I have several of those in the communal offices.
Of course.
This book is old. This is 20 years out of date.
But it also has some interesting insights of the original blueprints of this place.
Oh, if you'd like to see the originals as well, I've got. Where did you find this book?
It was in the library between the other books.
That should not have been in the library. May I, Mr. Cassus?
Of course.
Thank you. And he'll kind of flip through. He says, yes, no, this should be with the... This is the missing... Yes, this book has been missing for a while. Thank you so much for returning it. We have the whole collection of all the past volumes of the designs for this building. Please, come with me. I'll show you the others.
Of course. I will go and see.
Okay. And naturally, so will Pulsar.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yes, so basically there's the private library, the one that the patients are not supposed to come into, mainly volumes upon volumes of patient details and all that paperwork, paid stubs for the employees, delivery sheets, all of that crap. Lots and lots of cardboard boxes, basically, scrolls. There's a couple of servitors kind of sorting things. And he will bring you to a section that is dedicated wholly to maintenance, repair, and construction. And he'll pull out a few really large drawers and say, "These are the most up-to-date blueprints," and he'll replace the book in a long list of about 30 other tomes and point to the far left of it and say, "That is the most ancient. The originals are down at the left side, moving up towards the most current."
It's a shame that I can't really read these blueprints as well as I should be.
I know this place like the back of my hand. What are you looking for, Mr. Castus?
Well, I'm looking for a place where a man who has committed several murders could hide until this all blows away.
Oh, my, not many places. It's just, perhaps, if you would like, Mr. Cassis, give me a little time, and I will organize all of this, and I will present to you. There's just so many places. It would take.
I was just wondering, since the original builder or engineer of this place, he shared the same name as the Mr. Wormwood, the last name.
Okay, give me a quick awareness roll.
Nope.
Pulsar's eye visibly twitches. She kind of mutters to herself, I'm really starting to hate that name. Pontaria says, please remain calm. I'm sure that there's a reasonable... Oh, dear throne, what has happened? All right, Mr. Castis.
Yes?
Still a place of healing.
Of course.
I believe you should potentially get a recaf. Mrs. Pulsar, Arbitrator Pulsar, I give my full cooperation. You can go ahead and call in all the personnel you want. And she says, finally. And she just starts to move away and head off. Vern, are you sticking around for a moment, or?
I'm sticking around for a moment. I would say that I would like to quickly check these tomes that he showed, and if it's okay.
Okay. Well, he's going to actually get a little closer to you and motion for you to come take a closer look. And he's going to pull out one particular drawer of blueprints. And he says, I stumbled across these earlier, and Mr. Castis, you and I understand that the Inquisition would not like the Adeptus Arbites to be overly exposed to certain elements. Am I correct?
Arbites are no ordinary, non-initiated eyes. Yes.
Exactly. And I know I'm not initiated either, but I understand, well, frankly, you are the only one here who is. So he'll show you on one of the blueprints. There is a part of the building that I was able to convince the last executive director before Matthews took over to seal this off. And he shows there's actually a sub-basement underneath the West Wing. Basically, you have to go down into the East Wing, into the furnace and tech basement, where like boiler room, cleaning, washing machines, all plumbing and that. Proceed through into the reception areas underground. There's the generator there. Continue proceeding west, and originally there were multiple paths into, frankly, it seemed excessive, but there were very difficult to reach chambers there, which we found very archaic medical equipment, and, well, it all felt very terribly wrong. So I had managed to convince the last executive director to seal that part of the building off. Except I have reason to believe that maybe not all of it was sealed, or that Mr. Professor Wormwood has found or made new access. Frankly, Mr. Castis, I know I am not initiated, but that place gave me a dread feeling.
Oh dear.
And I did not mention this in the presence of Mrs. Pulsar, as you and I have just stated. She is of she's an arbitrator and is not of the Inquisition. I am not going to go there. I'm not going to send any of my orderlies there. I hate to do this to you, Mr. Castus, but we cannot wait for the rest of the Inquisition to arrive to stop Wormwood. Would you do us the great honor of checking to see if this is where he has run to?
It is of great importance. I need my... well, I will do it, but for that I need some things.
I suspect I know exactly what you need. If you will follow me, I know where they are kept.
I will follow.
Okay. And it's almost midnight in my time. Mm-hmm. So how much energy have you got left, Frosty?
I'm good to go for, I don't know, however long it will take, but I don't think others are.
Well, that's the question of the night. Since this has pretty much been almost entirely just Frosty and I for a while now, I do apologize to all the other players. I do hope you've been entertained, but I don't want to force you to just keep watching Vern be solo Vern.
Don't worry. Vern's not going into this alone.
Yeah, Ogre's going to stay away.
Joe,
every time.
Fungi.
I don't know. It's something.
You're very far away, Fungi. We're getting...
Yeah. It's something that is being done from now on purely between NPCs and Vern. It doesn't sound like something we need to have a game where everyone appears for.
Joe?
Yes, but I'm asking, do you personally want to continue witnessing this? Or do you want to head to bed?
Oh, right now I probably want to head to bed.
Okay, well, thank you very much for being such a wonderful Havelock.
Thank you.
Yes, and well, we'll have to wait to see if Vern remembers that. But yes, I'll be sure to remember that the what was Havelock's last name?
Gainsborough.
The Gainsborough, right. The Gainsborough family will be holding on to that favor you owe them, Frosty. Mm-hmm. So don't you forget it. And yeah, Joe, how's your energy doing?
It doesn't really matter. I'm the guy who has to record, so...
Well, you don't have to. I mean, visuals might disappear, but we still have audio.
Mm-hmm.
Still have to anyway.
So you're sticking around?
I don't have much choice.
God damn you. What's the time on the current recording?
43 minutes.
All right, let's give it a pause here.